Well, hey, Aquarius, how about a reading from your metal dog? A little advice for retrograde season. We've got Pluto in retrograde, we've got Venus going into retrograde, Neptune joining the fray. What this can mean is that we're inspired to review and reflect on what we just went through. So let's see what is coming up for Aquarius. We have you here with a 5 of Wands. Silence equals death. I was literally wearing my Silence equals death t-shirt a minute ago, but it's cold here, so I put on some long sleeves. So this is about struggle, conflict, all competing wills here. So that can be a very creative, exciting, anarchistic space. I love a good 5 of Wands process. We can see kind of a social movement, kind of fun, creative space. But it can also be like fighting and conflict. So one of those might be going on, both. Underlying this, a few things. Wow, okay. A lot. Okay, Aquarius, so you and your Scorpio, fellow fixed sign Scorpio, have some things in common, but you've got your own thing going too. So we see justice. This deck encourages us to think about justice in a broader sense. I'm also seeing like a 2 of Cups here, as I always do with the Justice card. So that it could be justice on a political level, but also it could just be between you and another person. There is a 3 of Wands here. This is about waiting for your manifestation to come in. So you're waiting, and these birds are waiting with you. 3 birds and you waiting. If you had a vision, you put it out there, and you're waiting for it to come in. There is an emperor here. This woman in armor image on the throne. Very emperor image, actually. So this card of Aries, card of structural power. Let me see what else is going on here. There is some pain. There is an ending, a 10 of Swords. This came up for Scorpio a minute ago, and we can see that their chest is ripped open and then little guys are coming out. So that can feel pretty painful, but there's also like a lot of liberty and like you're out of a painful situation when you get to a 10 here. So we'll see what's coming up for you. Honestly, this needs some more looking from me here. There is some work, a new skill, just going about your work. Hermiting. This is, we're all kind of hermiting right now. We're doing what the hermit does, which you can see the figure here sitting, looking backwards on the table, and you can see the light here, that flower within. So you reflect upon the past, and you get insight from what you've learned through your experience there. There is pain. This is your mind and your heart being at odds. A stained glass window in a church holding this image of your mind stabbing your heart. It's a broken heart. It's a betrayal. So you're looking, it looks like you're looking at the past with that, through that lens of the broken heart, of the obsession. And then there is a beautiful 6 of Pentacles, which is about generosity, about giving a gift, about charitable giving here. It's very much about these 3 planets giving. I know Venus is one of them. The moon, Saturn, and Venus are here. So we have 3 planets. So Venus we know is retrograde. Where is the moon? Pay attention to the moon. And then Saturn, this is your discipline, your structure. So take a look at that here. What is going on here? It goes like this. So there's a conflict and competition here. There's a need for justice that is met with the Six of Pentacles. So these seem to be pairing off. They're framing the underlying energy for this reading. So needing justice, and the Six of Pentacles is exactly one card that talks about equal give and take and the need for it, or receiving that. You were waiting for somebody to show up as the leader of their life, and then there was pain. And so you went about your work, and you're reflecting on that process that you went through recently. You're reflecting on it through the lens of how it hurt. But it also appears that as time has passed, we can see that the lack of justice has been actually remedied. So what I think is going on here for you, Aquarius, is there's some kind of process of competing desires within you, is what I see. And it has to do, though, with an outside person, this emperor person, who it looks like you experienced some pain because you were just waiting and waiting for them to show up as the leader of their life, and they didn't. And you did your work, but now we can see that something has shifted, and there is this balancing, the Six of Pentacles. It looks different. It's way more practical than emotional. It's less passionate, because you were looking for through Three of Wands. That's passion, willpower, Emperor, fiery energy. You're kind of looking for that, but it's not that. It's very practical, and that's not bad, because you're practical too. You've been going about your good work. So you're just reflecting on this as we can see this coming into the present in this unexpected, nice way. So let's find out more about that, this sort of creative difficulties or conflict or anarchistic process. Let's see what's going on for Aquarius with this. We're going to ask some advice. We're going to ask what you need to release, what you want to embrace, what you're revisiting in the time of retrogrades, what the tarot wants you to know, but which is hidden from you, and the future. And then we'll clarify all of it, and we'll see what is happening for you. Okay. All right. Release the Fool. So the beginner, leaper of faith, the rainbow hair, the little corgi. That's a lovely, fun. This is just like a lot of fun. It looks like you've been having fun, and it's not bad in any way. It's just time to release that. You're moving on to something else. So let's see. What are we moving on to? What should Aquarius embrace? Ooh, the Lovers. That is a choice. It is also a pretty significant connection. Like if you do twin flame connection, that's what that is. So there was a beginning, and now there is something really intensely serious. Okay. It could also be a choice, like you made a choice, and so embrace that. All right, what are you revisiting? Page of Wands. Well, I love this card. This is the card of the outsider viewpoint, the foreigner, the queer. It's fire. It's a message. It comes from someone who's young, not because they're ignorant and naive in any way, but because they come from outside and they see things from the outside, and they're not an expert because they didn't grow up in this. So you were kind of, then I see the sage here, and the sage, a bundle of sage, it speaks of indigenous insight, an indigenous American, like Sage is used in Celtic signing or cleansing as well, but not as a bundle. The Celts would use it. We would set it fire to it and with a feather cleanse like this. Indigenous to America, more likely that tradition of a bundle. And there's a lot coming out of this tradition here. So that's, I don't know how that fits into this, but there is like, right. We are remembering. I'm remembering. I'm part of this Aquarius rising collective here. So the feeling of remembering, of reviewing, of revisiting. This feels like the Pluto retrograde energy that is really causing us to think on this structural level that we've just been doing it wrong all along, and that we need to look at it from a new way, from a way that isn't new, is actually indigenous, and it's an old way. It's an old way that can feel like we remember it. So what does this have to do with your journey here with this? So the Emperor is what you were waiting on. The Western structural, traditional, and it broke your heart, right? So it could be on a big scale that this reading is coming in Aquarius, or on a very personal level. And so we're thinking about, that's when this begins to be about protest, and this begins to be about social justice in a larger sense. The Page of Wands could be someone that came into your life recently and they helped you see things in a different way. And you're reflecting on what they taught you. And in a way, I think what they taught you was something that you just needed to be reminded of, that you already knew in your heart. And it cleared away, it cleansed all of the other ideas, the norms and traditions, right? So I think of a person, an Aquarian, who was looking really hard at non-monogamy or polyamory as a life way. So that's a new idea, a queer idea, but it's also one that felt true to them, right? And so it could be like a remembering of, oh, this is how I am, and this is how I'm meant to live, but somebody reminded you of this from the outside, that thing. Okay, so we're embracing a choice, the Lovers. What does tarot want you to know that's been hidden from you? This card. When the first time I got this card, I held it upside down like this. It made no sense to me. It looked like, like a football March Madness kind of thing, and a tornado, and then an upside down rainbow, but it actually is a tree. And it is a 10 of Pentacles. It says you have everything that you need. You are secure. There's abundance. You've reached. So for some reason you don't know this, Aquarius. Money grows on trees. The trees are the source of wealth. It's very practical. Again, I think we're directed from a kind of romantic ideal to something very practical, very rich, very earthy, like this. The way that you were seeing a lack of emotional passion, but you end up in this very practical place, right? Saturn is here with Venus and the Moon. Saturn is this practical energy, the future. The future is a 2 of Cups. It is justice. It is soulmate connection. Beautiful. Okay. So I'm seeing this in all of the readings for fixed signs. I see difficulty that translates into like the hoped for future, right? And it looks different from how you wanted it to look, but it's there. Okay, underlying this is a new beginning. And so we get a new beginning that's real, very practical. You can actually pick it and eat it. And then we see something that a lot of work and time and waiting was put into, bearing fruit, the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like you're harvesting ahead. You're harvesting something that you hoped for and it didn't happen, but now it's happening. It just looks different. It looks more practical, but it's still this. And it seems really possible to read this on a very large scale, almost like a collective message. Often happens for me with Aquarians because you're humanitarian, you think about the greater good. Your opposite, your south node opposite is Leo, which is a me-centered, relationship-centered leader. There's lots of good stuff about Leo. My south node is in Leo, my north node is in Aquarius. So I think about the tension between those two quite a bit within my personal history. So when I think about you Aquarians, I think about you as thinking about more than just yourself, more than just you and the other, and the greater good, the humanitarian interests, and also that your mind matters, your ideas and your concepts matter to you, and passion. Somebody told me, I read this. So like for Aquarius, you need people that want to talk ideas with you, who are intelligent and intellectual the way you are. And so that's important for you in this somehow. And that is just completely coming from the outside. The way it comes up is this Three of Swords, the way that hearts and minds can be at odds, right? So your heart may choose somebody who's just, their brain's not intellectually where you are. And that's important to you. You know, you're an air sign. Okay, so let's clarify. You're supposed to be releasing the Fool. Do we release the Fool on the world? Or do you move on from this kind of leap of faith, life of the party, kind of, it's a lovely energy, I'm glad you've been there, kind of, is what I feel about it. So let's see what the cards say. The Fool, what do we mean? An Ace of Cups, it's like a new love, all right? I felt that. And then there's Justice, balance, equality. These two cats conspiring with the truth, the sword, and they've got all this rainbow, transgender, earth-centered justice in mind. They're working on that. And remember, justice is here for you. And we see the Justice with the Two of Cups balanced here. Like, I'm seeing very, I often see these as the same card, just one's more significant and more in that big humanitarian global sense of balance. And some struggle, a long struggle. Nine of Wands. You're almost there, feeling. So, you're releasing this, the Fool. Yeah, there's this struggle. It's this energy. It was an emotional beginning. It felt like it had this balance. It was really fun after a long struggle. And so somehow you're almost done with that struggle. Or let's keep looking, because there's two ways of seeing this Fool. One is like, go for it, release the Fool, be the Fool. You've been struggling long enough. There is justice and balance in love here. Another way is to shift from love, the sort of individual personal love, towards a larger love, justice-based love, and that struggle, or both, Okay, so because we do see like something very serious and significant and even a bit scary here, which is why the Lovers is a dilemma, a choice. When you meet that person that meets you on all levels, it can be intense, it can be scary, and sometimes people don't choose it. And many readers talk about twin flame energy as actually not fun, really transformative, really uncomfortable, and sometimes fraught with dis-ease, because you are meant to learn something with this person. You're not meant to just relax and have fun. So that's what the Lovers is bringing in for me here. Let's clarify that. What do the cards say? So there's so much momentum, urgency, the Chariot. I see the pentacle around the horse's neck. So again, this feeling of there was like a quick desire, and then its intention with this really practical nature of the pentacle. And that's in your reading here, right? You want passion, but then there's this practical piece. There's your Emperor. Remember, you're waiting on the Emperor, this one in the very breasty armor. So I thought this has someone outside of you. This is an Aries card of Aries, right? So there was a momentum towards this Emperor. Oh my gosh, and the Empress. So talk about the Lovers. This is like, wow, is this what you're embracing? It's happening. The Empress and the Emperor are getting together. Okay. That might not be for all of you here, but there's some kind of big dilemma. Now, if we see this, the Chariot, it's like animal wildness. It's forcefulness without, it's untempered physicality. It's a beginning energy. If we see the Emperor and the Empress as a dilemma, like the Lovers gives you a choice, right? The Emperor is the old way, the way of the structure. And the Empress is the earth way, which speaks to this image here that we have of remembering old ways in this. And I like that. Neither the Empress nor the Emperor is really about being in a couple. They're both significant and autonomous. The Empress represents sovereignty, and she doesn't need a partner to be abundant, etc., etc., etc. So if you're not looking for a love reading here, there is tension between the old way of the Empress and the old way of the structural, really newer, 500-year-old Western way of the Emperor. Okay, Page of Wands has brought you this message, right? They've cleansed. They're earth people. The Page of Wands speaks to you from the earth people, from old traditions. Let's see. Clarity of the Mother of Swords. Truth. She brings the truth. She uses the truth. She applies it. She cuts out what doesn't work. It's a very beautiful, strong energy of the Mother of Swords. And you need this because it's a bit confusing emotionally. Seven of Cups, projections, fantasies, illusions. Like the Mother of Swords is able to cut through all of that, right? And what she sees is discontent, and you left. That Ace of Cups wasn't here. And remember, what you're releasing is like you did find that Ace of Cups, that contentment under the Fool. You're reviewing that. You got clarity on something that was very confusing with the help of a Page of Wands, and you walked away from it because that cup that you needed for a Nine of Cups for emotional fulfillment, it wasn't there, and you walked away from that. So You're reviewing that. You're remembering that. Okay? The tarot says you have the Ten of Pentacles here. It's a beautiful tree bearing fruit. Right? This makes me think about this. The Seven of Pentacles. You put work into something, it's bearing fruit. You are harvesting a new beginning. There's an Ace of Cups here and an Ace of Pentacles. There's a newness. It's also new. It's a new beginning. New love, new sense of justice, new mirroring energy. It's funny because the hands of the Two of Cups, green and pink, and we have green and pink persons here. Let's see, what's this that the tarot wants you to know about the Ten of Pentacles? This was a vision you had that you manifested. It's beginning to appear. That waiting energy. Oh yeah, so we saw that waiting energy. You manifested something and you waited on it. We didn't see it come in actually, but here it is. Wish fulfillment, healing, the star, divine support. And victory. So this is the card that comes before this, the struggle, and then victory, recognition from others that your idea prevails. This is what you don't know. There's something that you manifested, and it's coming in. You're getting your wish. You're getting seen and recognized, and it's very practical. It looks practical now. You walked away from it before, maybe, with the Eight of Cups, the Mother of Swords. Like in the past, somebody helped you walk away from this. A Page of Wands did. It cleansed you in a way of this dilemma and this confusion. So you walked away from it, but now the cards say, this wish, this thing you manifested, it's coming in. It's recognizing you. Okay, in the future, justice, Two of Cups, true love, soul connection. What do we have here? Aquarius. This was interesting. Okay, new perspective, the Hanged Man. Waiting. Absolute happiness, authenticity, and wish fulfillment. Wow. We all recently re-looked at the sun, at our ideal of happiness. We looked at it and we reviewed it and we revised it very recently. If you go back to some of my collective readings, and there's the Four of Wands, soul. Oh wow, I can't even think of the soulmate, authenticity. This is beautiful. Wow. Yes. So somebody, you, somebody else, the world, changed their mind about what it means to be happy. And we see that right here. It's about authenticity. It's about being true to yourself, to who you are. And we see that in your future under this beautiful Two of Cups, which could be big justice or little sweet true love. Underlying this, the Mother of Wands, fiery, protective of home, passionate. She's the queen of the law of attraction. So what she focuses on, what she looks on, what she believes is coming in, she brings that in through exertion of her will and of her magic. And she's that sexiest woman in the tarot is the Mother of Wands, or the sexiest person. This is so much about manifesting and a wish fulfillment here. Something that you put work and heart, and you actually got hurt over. It hurt a lot, because with the Three of Swords and the Ten of Swords, right away, it hurt. But now, though you walked away from it, it could be two different things if you walked away from something that didn't work. But I'm actually seeing that that you went and did something else, and it's time to release that because this big wish is coming, um, and you don't know it yet, but it's coming. And when I look at it on the table, it's gonna look different from what you imagined it would look like, but it's absolute happiness. It's healing. It recognizes you. Everybody gets to be themselves. It's balanced and just. It's really beautiful and it's real. So I'm happy to carry this beautiful message to you, Aquarius. I hope this helps. Let me know. Have a great day.